So welcome.
Yay, hello and welcome. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Do you want to go to Facebook or probably not?
Nah, let's just enjoy our space, and we can post it to Facebook later if we'd like.
Exactly. So
first of all, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for the space. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a moment out of whatever's going on in your life to just tap in and choose a different kind of space to function in. It means a lot to me.
It does, because this is a space where we can look at the energies that are not working in our lives, but at the same time be grateful, even for those energies.
Yeah.
Even for things that don't work, because we always can ask what else is possible. Just like with technology today, just like with stuff in the house, just like with people in our lives.
Messages that I've received from people saying, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving and I'd like to kill the family or whatever. So just before, I had sent an email out to my mailing list last night, I guess early this morning, somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning. I was up for a long time. And I wrote, it's really funny. Both Helen and I are not American. And well, we're infinite beings. So really, it's all good. But we never celebrated Thanksgiving in the countries that we came from. It's just not a quote unquote holiday. And that's why I put Thanksgiving separated with a little dash, because it isn't just about Thanksgiving, the holiday as it is seen, with the turkey. People will call it Happy Turkey Day. No, it's not freaking Happy Turkey Day. It's a day to be grateful. And the thing is, it's an invitation for us to be grateful every single day. And maybe I'm blessed by not having had the growing up with Thanksgiving the way it's done in this tradition, so that I could explore it as a day of Thanksgiving, truly, of what is gratitude for me, rather than, oh, it's all about this routine and the family gets together and we have the turkey and we do this and then we sit and watch football and we watch the Macy's parade or whatever it is.
Yeah,
we never had to have the ritual. So we got to enjoy the day.
Because originally, what was Thanksgiving? It is about giving thanks for the harvest, giving thanks for the food, for being free, because a lot of those original pilgrims, they came to this country looking for something different life, different, for freedom, basically. Because they were not allowed to practice their religion or whatever it was. And that was the holiday of giving thanks. And I agree, because it turned majority of the holidays, not just Thanksgiving, a lot of holidays, religious or non-religious, became now just a tradition. People forget how important that is. They even like getting together with a family. People don't think about how they can be grateful that they do have family, because some people don't.
Yeah.
And it's about literally, instead of like fighting with each other, what if we really looked at what are we grateful for today? What are we grateful every day?
Yeah, that. What are we grateful for every day? And the thing that's really interesting, a lot of people have gratitude lists, or they'll have a gratitude book. They'll make it an active thing of looking for what to be grateful for. And there's a beautiful invitation in that you begin to look for more evidence of what to be grateful for. That's, one of the gifts of gratitude is that it expands everything that it touches, because you see more possibilities. You have a wider perspective on what's available or what's going on when you look through the eyes of gratitude. because you're not judging anything as this is the way it should be. And this is the way it shouldn't be. And this is the right way. And this is the wrong way. There's no judgment. Gratitude is the opposite of judgment. And so there's this beautiful expansiveness that's available for us when we're grateful. And I found growing up, my uncle was married to a typical multi-generational Texan family, and here we were, immigrants, right? And so it was a different kind of a vibe. But we would do the traditional Thanksgiving, in the house, and you have the table set for like 40 people. And, it was enormous, on this big Texas ranch, and like Thanksgiving was this thing. But everything was about the idea of Thanksgiving. It was about the idea of the beginning of the Christmas season, rather than truly looking at, wow, look at all the gifts that are surrounding me. How grateful can I be? And it was really funny. In the last few days, I've been walking around in shops and all sorts of places with my daughter. Some places require masks, some places don't. This is one I made in Guatemala. So I got, the white cotton, whatever, and I draw on it and I wrote grateful. And how does it get any better than that? And it's been my favorite mask to use for the last few months since I drew it on. But people look at it as if it's that's your Thanksgiving mask. No, it's Thanksgiving for everything, because the more thankful I be, the more the world receives, the more everything in the universe begins to expand. And it's a very different energy than Thanksgiving, just Thanksgiving, the holiday as we've come to know it.
It's interesting, like you brought up that a lot of people, instead of really being grateful, they're trying to prove they're grateful. They're going into that showing off in some ways. Look how happy I am. Look how grateful I am. Look how much I have. Look at my family. Look at my big turkey. Look at my stuffing. Look at the dinner. All of that is not truly the energy of being grateful. As you said, being grateful is opposite of judgment. And when we're grateful, there is no judgment. Grateful is a space of being, versus when the judgment is, let's say, it's much lower vibration of the body of the being. People say love and hate are opposite, but it's not. Love and hate are the same. It's just the opposite side of the same coin, versus the true opposite of hate, true opposite of judgment is gratitude. Because you can be grateful even when people are evil, even when they are doing something awful, or when they're kind and nice. And it's about truly being ourselves, the space of being. I just want to do an exercise. Sorry, I'm a lot into exercises.
Before the exercise, I'm just going to say something, because I think we just jumped in all our excitement. So my name is Rachel Silver, and this is Helen Gitlovich, and we're both certified facilitators of Access Consciousness. And so tools, exercises, questions, conversations, everything that we're playing with today is from the body of work that I'm so fucking grateful for, which is Access Consciousness, and the gift that these tools have been to my life, and I know to Helen's life also, just, because of everything we speak
maybe
about.
A lot.
just like a megaton of latte. Yeah.
So, yeah. And some of those exercises.
Take us along, Helen. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And we are so grateful for that. So what I'd like you guys to see And I know you've wrote the gratitude list and all of that, but just for a moment, look at today, just today, and look at every single thing that happened or you've created, every conversation you had, every moment of time. Let's start from the moment you woke up. What if we are grateful for that moment when we wake up? Let's just allow ourselves to be grateful for that. And we actually got up, maybe went to the bathroom. What if we be grateful that we went to the bathroom?
You know, Helen, I'm just going to comment. It's really funny. We have a prayer that we say in the mornings when we wake up in Judaism. It happens to be the alarm on my wake up. So I hear it as I wake up if I have the alarm set. But it's for getting up and for being alive. Literally, it is a saying thank you for being alive. And going to the bathroom, there's my brother who's more religious. He reprimands me sometimes and says, you know, there's a blessing to keep these holes working and the body functioning the way that it does, because it's just so miraculous. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna skip that one. He goes, no, you don't want to. Because if that closes up, you know, you gotta be grateful for what you got, not wait for it to go away to begin to say thank you. So it was just funny. Sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We forget that those little things, big things, are so important, and our bodies are miraculous. That's my invitation. What if we be grateful for our bodies, that it can wake up, it can get out of bed, that it can go to the bathroom, it can wash our face, it can put whatever like you put on your face, maybe some lotions, maybe some serums. And then we can look in the mirror. What if we are grateful just for seeing ourselves? And what if we are grateful if we have food on the table that our body can eat? And that was just the first probably like half an hour or an hour of our day. And let's look at our, let's say, breakfast or dinner or whatever time in the world you are, but let's start with breakfast. Or maybe that cup of tea or coffee, whatever you have there. Yeah. What if we be grateful for the cup that somebody actually made? And for that person that made that cup. Or maybe it was made in a factory that somebody built. And somebody worked and made those molds and those machines. And the tea leaves that were collected somewhere in China or India or wherever that tea came from. What if we be grateful for that and remember that? And the water.
It's fascinating to me, Helen, as you're saying that. We so often, and we just had a couple of months, you know, in Access, September and October, was about recognizing we're not alone. Mm-hmm. If we truly begin to look around us, we notice how everything is woven together and how we're never alone, and we're receiving, sometimes gratefully, sometimes not so gratefully, but we're receiving from so many people that are unknown to us. We don't know what hobbies they have, you know, if they enjoy gardening, if they play with their kids, if they're, you know, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons nerds, if they like video games, we don't know, but these people have touched our lives in one way or another. I'm sitting in a car, it's raining, I've got the Wi-Fi from the house, and I don't have to deal with anybody from the house at the moment because it's raining. So, hey, bonus. But somebody created this car. Somebody had the car rental place so that I could rent it, so that I could have a space here currently that is enjoyable for me and is comfortable for me and keeps me dry. And I don't even know who these people are. So what if we'd actually, like what you're saying, look at how much we are receiving in every moment of every day. And
because a lot of people say, oh, my life is miserable and I don't have anything to be grateful for. But
welcome to my mother.
Yeah. And if, as I said, even if we look at our first hour or maybe even 15 minutes of our day, how much can we be grateful? What if gratitude is just another choice that we can choose? And we can choose to be miserable. We can choose to be angry. We can choose all of that. Or what if we can be grateful? Look at the energy. That's my invitation. Just feel, sense, be that energy of gratitude. Even for maybe sitting or walking or sitting in the car in the rain. What if we can be grateful for that moment? Does any of other things, do they exist? Are they actually influencing us? Or we are being that energy of, I'm me. And what if we just say thank you to the body? And some people would say, oh, but it hurts. What if that hurt actually body communicating with us and telling, oh, there is something going on here. Pay attention. Instead of judging it that, oh, it's bad, it's awful, it hurts, must be something wrong. It's about allowing us to be present, to be us without cutting any awarenesses. With gratitude, the gratitude itself is an awareness of everything, receiving everything. How
much? Drop, say that again.
What did I say?
Something about gratitude is about the awareness and receiving everything.
Yeah.
And that is huge, 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 huge.
It is huge. It's about creating, because if we are receiving, if we are being grateful for everything, how much more can we receive? How much more can we have in our lives just by being grateful? Because with gratitude, you cannot cut off anything. You cannot cut off your parts. If you're grateful for you, you immediately cannot separate yourself into good, bad, right, wrong, awful, mean, vicious, or whatever it is that you judged. Yeah. The judgment just fall away. And you're just being. Just sense that energy. And again, look at what's in your life right now. You're watching us. And we're watching you. Even we don't see your faces, a lot of you don't have the video on, including me. Part of me is not on the video because my computer decided that the video will be off, but I'm choosing different. I'm grateful for the computer not showing my face, so I can show off my phone camera and can put it up so I can look up. And what if it's about looking up, not looking down, and walking, being as tall as we can be, instead of shutting ourselves down and moving us into that space of, oh, this is wrong, I have to look down. No, people cannot see me. No, I'm wrong. no, what if they see me, they can kill me. What if it's not? Even if people would like to kill you, who is the strongest? When you're you're grateful, would people choose to kill you if you're grateful for them?
Well, you'd know if they're coming because you'd be open to receiving awareness of everything with no point of view, and you'd know not to be around.
Or you can be aware and pick up a knife or a gun or something to defend yourself with. Or just be the energy that will not even allow people to harm you.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting, Helen. I had a really phenomenal experience over the last week. I was at the 7-day event in Texas in the ranch. And it was beautiful. Well, the whole thing was beautiful, really. Every conversation was a huge contribution. There were so many different awarenesses as to how we function as like an autopilot, you know, that we tend to go to the head for everything. And I got a really, well, 7 thoughts at the same time. Or more. 7 is like a small number. But I got a really interesting visual. So there's 2 things I'll be speaking about, one after the other. But one, I got a really phenomenal visual that the way that Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, the co-creators of Access, the way they function is this gratitude, awareness, and spaciousness. So there's so much space. And then since they're not resisting any awareness, since they're grateful for everything and they trust themselves, they're grateful for their knowing, they literally follow these like almost lights along. It's not even a path because there's no path. It's just space. Bing, over here. Oh, they're going to go create that or go choose that. Bing, over there. And they're going to go choose the other thing. Bing, you know, whatever. And it pings them and they interact and they choose and they create a greater future, not from logic, not from cognition, not from resistance, not from anything like that, just from ease, spaciousness, and ease. And it's fascinating. The thing is that the rest of the people who were there were mostly going down a path, a delineated path. You don't receive from everything when you're down a delineated path because you're eliminating everything that's on the right, everything that's on the left, whatever's not on your path, whatever you haven't judged as your road or whatever, you don't even see. And so we're busy on these narrow little roads and they've got the whole multiverse available. And I saw that viscerally and it was so fascinating. With every question at the microphone, I perceived this contraction that's asking to expand, but most of us were not functioning from the wonder and awe and the gratitude of everything that's available around us versus Gary and Dane were. And it was fascinating to watch. So that was one huge mind-blowing aha for me. And another one, Dr. Dane took us in one of the evenings to a little observatory that he built out on one of their properties there. And it was pitch black. There are no street lights. This is, you know, open country. But he took us to the little building where he has his automated telescopes. And he was explaining how they work and how they, and I wouldn't be able to repeat it because there were so many things like you put in gas plates and they have an automated system and they set things up in a really interesting way. And it was beautiful to see. And he was explaining how they ping out to the universe. And the only thing that just kept, and I asked about it, I said, well, if there's something in quantum physics, quantum mechanics, where we speak about the observer effect, and we're looking out there with this, wow, look at all these stars. And by the way, since it was so pitch black, I have never in my life seen a sky that clear, that dark, and with that many stars in it. It was phenomenal. I saw stars in places that to the naked eye, especially in a city, you don't see them. You see a few bright ones, but not this blanket of twinkling stars looking at us in that way. At least not where I've been, because I've been in cities mostly. And I was fascinated. And I asked him, you know, here we are looking through the microscope out through the microscope, through the telescope, looking out at the largeness, the expansiveness, the phenomenons of this brilliance and light and everything. I said, do you ever wonder if when we look out and we appreciate, that message gets pinged out there and shifts what even returns to us? And he paused a moment and said, yeah, I wonder just how much our appreciation changes the universe.
Think
and if you're looking
even
at
people, if we don't like somebody, what happens? They don't like us back. But if we are grateful, if we love them, the love returns.
Yeah.
What if we actually look at, as you said, observer? What if we look at everything with gratitude and be the observer of gratitude? How much that would change our world? And what if for the next, let's say, okay, I cannot ask you for the rest of your life, but maybe for the next hour after this call, each one of us looks at every person that we meet, at everything we touch, because things have consciousness, not just people, not just animals. But what if we taking a cup saying, thank you for being in my life. I'm very grateful that you came.
Yeah.
And so for everything we touch for the next hour, and then you can extend it if you choose to. Maybe if it's too hard, maybe half an hour, maybe 10 minutes. But just maybe for a few things in your life, you would choose to be grateful for every little thing, big thing, person, even if you don't like them. What if you just send them gratitude?
I love that.
Today's Thanksgiving, right? So what if we...
Every day.
Yeah, every day be Thanksgiving, but at least for today. Because we cannot project what will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow might never come. I mean, seriously, it's just what is. But right now, think of all the people in your life. People that you like, people you don't like. People you're grateful, people you might not be so grateful in this 10 seconds. So for the next 10 seconds, what if you still be grateful? And then you can go back to whatever you felt for them. And now be grateful for them again. What if it is just a choice? And what if you can see that it is a choice? And for people who say, oh, I don't have a choice, not having a choice is still a choice.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, eh? Most people aren't willing to see that. They're like, no, I have no choice here. I'm like, that is one of the most insidious choices. You're waiting for someone else to choose for you. And so that you would be the effect rather than be the one who affects, being the catalyst by your choice of what you'd like to have and what you'd like to experience and what you'd like to create. And I love what you were saying. Sorry, go ahead.
Or with no choice, you already made the choice to give somebody else a choice. What if it's that simple to take that choice back and have it and realize that in a no choice universe, it's some kind of judgment that created that. And the gratitude is an antidote for that.
Yeah.
What if you be grateful for no choice and see what that will create? Just for less than seconds, look at the places where you created that no choice, where your life may be not the brightest, the loveliest, the happiest, the joyful. What if it's still, you can be grateful for those parts? Infuse it with the gratitude, infuse it with the space, expand it in some ways, and see what choices show up.
I love that you also said for 10 seconds, because it's very in the moment. It's that now, that choosing in the moment, exactly how to see things, where to be around things, what to explore. When you look at someone that you've had previous stories about, or previous expectations, or previous frustrations, or previous whatever, those are all projections and expectations and, other experiences, but they're not these 10 seconds. They're from before. There are other judgments and conclusions that you've had, other decisions that you've had about that person or about the situation or about the place or whatever, but it isn't right here, right now in these 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And when you're willing to look with the eyes of gratitude, there is a space of being, there is a freshness, because you're looking not through the filters of the fixed points of views that you've had about that person before, but you're looking with a new, you take the filters off essentially, and you're able to see clearly what is, rather than everything that you have thought about it before.
Yeah, all those like insidious judgments.
Yeah, and points of view. And Dr. Dane here says many times in many classes, and in his Being You, Changing the World book, he says that our point of view creates our reality. Well, how many layers and how many points of views and how many more fixed points of views, and even points of views that aren't even ours, but we bought them because somebody who had that point of view told it to us over and over and over since we were little. So how many points of view are we using to really filter, limit, and eliminate the space of possibilities and the space of gratitude and the space of the wonder and the miracle that life is, in order to keep all of those in place?
But isn't that the purpose of this reality, to keep ourselves small and boxed in and controllable? Because the more we have the judgment, the more we have points of view, the less likely we kind of like choose something that actually works for us.
Yeah.
But then, and I'm glad you said that a lot of those points of view are not even ours.
Yeah. And we fight for those. The ones that aren't ours are the ones we fight for most intensely.
So what if we actually use the tool of access? Who does that belong to? We have even a free app that people can use. Let's do it together. Who does this belong to?
Yeah. Whose reality have I stepped into? Whose is this? Who am I being when I do that?
Yeah. And when we are grateful, are there any other points of view, or is it just space of us?
Just the space of being us.
Yeah. So what if we are, when we are not in that, so what if we start asking, who does this belong to? And open up to the gratitude.
And if we were truly willing to be us, to just explore, because a lot of people go to their heads, well, I don't know what being me means. I was in Puerto Vallarta this past summer and was attending a class. I was there with you for one of the classes.
Yes, I was whispering.
But one of the things that we had spoken about in class is to start asking people, just random people on the street or wherever, what does being you mean to you? Mm-hmm. And my daughter and I got into a cab, and we were heading to the market to go shopping. And we were in the cab for, 20, 30 minutes with the cab driver. And I asked him at the beginning of the ride, so, what does being you mean to you? And for 30 minutes, he was just speaking about all that, when I listen to music that I like and I'm really relaxed and enjoying myself, I know I'm being me. Oh, when I just relax and I'm okay, cooking in the kitchen or having friends come over, whatever, but people that I'm easy around, I know I'm being me. It was interesting because he began to explore what is being him to him. Well, I wonder if each of us could look at what is gratitude for us. And if we were willing to be us, and we were willing to be grateful and be gratitude and acknowledge the greatness that we are too, right? That's part of gratitude. Yeah. Then what would that look like? And what if, for a few 10 seconds at a time, at least, we begin to explore what is that for me?
And how, we can be that for everyone, for each other. I'm so grateful that you are in my life right now.
Me too. I adore you, Helen.
And anytime when I think about you, anytime when, I know that you're there having my back, it expands my world. And that's what I noticed with gratitude. It always expands. It never contracts, because gratitude is what's true. And that's what's true, who we are, what we are. Without the filters, like you said, the filters of judgment, the filters of necessities, the filters of, oh, God knows what. The boxes that we put ourselves in, most of them are just points of view, but most of them are what we cannot do. And so let's just explore it. And I think that's we're kind of coming to the finishing line of our Zoom. And how much more can we bring into our lives of the space of gratitude? How much more can we choose the space of gratitude? I
wonder. There's a quote that I'm going to massacre because I can't remember the author, but I remember the energy of it. And it was, if the only prayer we ever said was thank you, that would be enough. And I'm not sure who said that. I will look that up at some point. But it's fascinating to me how just the willingness to not judge, just the willingness to let go of any belief of what is the right or what is the wrong or what is whichever polarized point of view, our willingness to look at the wholeness, everything that's available, changes what is available for all of us. So if we go out throughout our day, just the way you showed us before, you led us through the willingness to be present and grateful without going, oh my God, okay, I have to be present now. I'm gonna lower my barriers and I'm just gonna get present. Yes, you could do that. And you can also just allow yourself to be. and to wonder and to explore. There's an awe.
Yeah. And
that
also like with gratitude.
That is available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with gratitude, that's the awe. That's that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what I notice, people
Einstein
think like if they receive thank you, they have to give thank you. What if it's not necessary?
Yeah.
What if by receiving the gratitude, it's already a contribution? But I guess it's a conversation.
And that's something that we were culturally taught, you know, that there's this responder system versus actually letting it in and letting it melt you and the other person. That's really interesting, Helen. I like that.
And so
there's another quote that I put in. Hang on quick second. We got an Einstein. You know, I like Einstein. He had great hair.
Too.
Yeah. He said, "He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed."
Yeah.
What if we'd be willing to open our eyes to the beauty that we are, to the beauty that's in every fresh 10-second situation around us, in everything that we're surrounded by, whether or not it's quote unquote ideal or the way that we'd like. Life lives on. How we choose to function is up to us. And the more we do it with freshness and with presence and with curiosity and with awe and with wonder and with gratitude, the more is available for everyone.
I like another quote, or I guess it's a cliche. Nature does not have bad weather. What if our lives doesn't have bad weather or bad things? It's just things that kind of like allow us to be who we are, and we can be grateful for every single one of them, for every single person, for every single second of whatever created where we are right now.
Yep. And no, actually, that's one of the things, you know, so many people get mad at themselves when they find the tools, or when they look at their lives, they'll get mad. Why didn't I know this before? Oh, I wish I had known these tools, you know, when I was younger, or whatever the case is. No, you had whatever experience that you had to bring you to right here, to right now. And if rather than judging it and judging you, you would actually be willing to be grateful for whatever it was that brought you right here, wow, that can change everything. And it becomes this amazing dance of possibilities when you're not busy whipping yourself, you know, punishing yourself for everything that you thought was wrong before. What if it isn't wrong, as you were saying, the weather? It just is. It's raining. I love rain. I like thunder and lightning and hurricanes, and I love sunshine too. I like it all. It is what it is, and it keeps changing. And if we're willing to just relax, enjoy, perceive, and receive, oh my goodness, what a magical world we get to live in.
What else is possible now?
And how does it get even better, more amazing, more fun, and greater than that every day?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, everyone that came here. So grateful.
Thank you.
And we'll see you somewhere, somehow. I'm starting a Russian book club on Right Reaches for You next week. And the body class in Chicago is coming at the beginning of
Yay!
December.
And shameless plug for Helen, because she's not going to be plugging herself there. I've been to 3 or 4 of your body classes. Each one is entirely different. Each one goes deeper than the next. And it is absolutely life-changingly amazing. And your willingness to be present with people and their bodies and to listen to the whispers that go beyond their heads is absolutely phenomenal. And I am so grateful for that. And you and I are also going to be facilitating a foundation class in mid-December.
Right. So what else is possible?
What else?
And the foundation, when both of us are facilitating, it's a little out of the world. And I'm so grateful for that.
Me too. It melts the solidity of everything we thought was so real and true around us. And it softens my world so much and has invited a huge level of gratitude in my life. And a much more ease in receiving and in being. And I'm grateful for that too. So thank you, everybody. If you've taken a break away from the turkey, or if you're still cooking as we're in your ear, or if you don't even do Thanksgiving,
or maybe you're listening like a week or a month or a year afterwards. Still can be grateful.
What if every day is the greatest day ever to begin being grateful?
And what if every day is better than the next?
That would be bad. Oh, and for anyone who doesn't know, on Sunday, Dr. Dane here is doing, is it Being You in a World That's Gone Crazy, or in an Insane World, something like that?
Yeah.
It's an intro class with no prereqs, and it's going to be a wild ride. Y'all are invited to that as well. I will post the link somewhere, either with this recording or beneath the video or wherever.
Or somewhere else.
Just look for it on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's there. Or on the Access Consciousness website. So
and
thanks, y'all.
I send it in the email with the recording as well.
That would be great. That would be great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very, very much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.